make sure that we plan properly for all the impacts that could be possible and that could result in a detrimental effect of, say, runoff from the land affecting your reefs, your nearshore environments, your seagrass, through, land clearing, through, dredging activities, things that are going to happen basically to stimulate economic development, but we want to make sure that we plan so that we can minimize those impacts to the environment.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the search continues for a missing Abaco man. A wanted suspect now in custody. And the Department of Social Services celebrating the elderly among us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for tuning in. No sign yet of missing jet ski rider 30-year-old Rashard Cooper of Dundastown, Abaco. Cooper and a group of friends were riding in a pack in waters off Dundas Point on Wednesday when he fell behind while reportedly riding inland. A search and rescue mission was mounted, but so far it has produced negative results. Cooper's friends say they became concerned when he did not make it back to land. We spoke moments ago with the head of the Hopetown rescue team about the search efforts.
We were contacted about the missing person, and it was very difficult to find out information about the details. We did finally find the location of where the jet ski was found without the rider, but this was late in the afternoon, and so we were unable to launch any rescue efforts. There was several efforts out of Marsh Harbor and Dundastown to try to locate the missing rider. The jet ski was found, from my information, very close to the Marsh Harbor commercial dock, and they searched that area unsuccessfully. My information was that they found his personal effects on the jet ski, and they thought that perhaps he tried to swim the short distance to Great Abaco from the key where the jet ski was found, but nothing was found.
Meantime, police have confirmed that 26-year-old Gariel St. Michael Frith of Gladstone Terrace is now in custody. Reports say Frith was apprehended in the Oats Lane area this morning. He was wanted for questioning on the charge of armed robbery. A bulletin was issued for his arrest last Monday following an armed robbery in the Freeport area. In news from the court, Draxton Bellany appearing in court today before Magistrate Simone Brown. He was charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm. He pled not guilty and was granted bail in the amount of $4,000. Bellany also pled not guilty for possession of ammunition and was given $2,500 bail with 1 or 2 suretors. The case was adjourned to February of next year. In other news, this is National Old Persons Month, and the Department of Social Services is aiming to shed light on the current challenges of the elderly. This year's theme is Digital Equity for All Ages. Throughout the entire month of October, the department will host various initiatives to provide fun and informative outlets for the elderly throughout the island. Megan Shepard reports.
The Department of Social Services launching National Older Persons Month to help bring a greater focus on the elderly throughout the country. Deputy Director Charlamagne Fernandez says that this year's theme aims to shed light on how older persons are dealing with the changing digital landscape of life.
It has become extremely challenging, if not impossible, to get much done if you do not have the means or the knowledge of the digital world. As we are translating everything into that forum. And older persons tend to get left behind in today's world. So it is very important that we have equity for older persons in today's world, digital equity for all ages.
She notes that the department offers tailored programs specifically targeting the needs of the elderly.
We work with programs such as food assistance, of course, for persons who cannot or do not have sufficient to feed themselves properly. We deal with, on the other end of life, with burial assistance programs, for instance. We assist senior citizens in accessing services from other agencies like National Insurance Board and any other agencies or corporate persons or private businesses that offer services to senior citizens. We assist them in resolving any issues that they may have. Many persons do not get proper care or they don't have proper housing. Their needs are not being met.
Chief Welfare Officer at the 8 Mile Rock office, Rochelle Minnis, is encouraging all residents to make a special effort to reach out and spend time with an elderly person, whether family, neighbor, or church member.
I want to encourage you, especially during this month of older person, to reach out to an older person. It can be a gift of money, it could be a gift of act of kindness. Just reach out to them and show your appreciation.
Chief Welfare Officer Brenna Cooper adding that the department will host a number of initiatives to engage elderly persons from east to west Grand Bahama. She says the events kick off on Wednesday, October 13th.
We have a church service at Pro Cathedral of Christ the King, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. This year, we are so excited that we are going to have a number of our residential care facilities where our older persons are residing. A few of them would be in the service, and we are glad to have them. And then on next week, Thursday, the 21st, we have a virtual platform. The theme is about equity, the digital world. So how can we not have a virtual platform? So we are going to be having a virtual forum, and we're going to be addressing two main areas. That's coping in this changing world of COVID-19. I think that a lot of us have not really realized the significant impact that COVID-19 and the restrictions have had on the older persons population. And then we also are going to be having an attorney who is going to be speaking on final wishes. We're talking about how to prepare a will. What are your final wishes?
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
The Public Hospitals Authority announcing a temporary pause for the COVID-19 vaccination program. According to a release, Grand Bahama Health Services is advising the public that due to the national holiday on Monday, October 11, 2021, COVID-19 vaccinations at the Susan J. Wallace Community Center will temporarily pause through Wednesday, October 13, 2021. Vaccinations will resume on Thursday, October 14th at 8:30 a.m. Individuals holding appointments for October 12th and 13th are asked to go to the website vax.gov.bs to rebook their appointment. Persons are asked to report to the vaccination center 15 minutes before their appointment time. Those experiencing challenges with registration are asked to call 727-8036 or 727-8038. They're reminding the public to stay safe by adhering to the established protocols of wearing a face mask, social distancing, and frequent hand washing. They're also apologizing for any inconvenience caused and thanking the public for their full cooperation. Meantime, some 115,153 persons are now fully vaccinated in the country. That according to the latest vaccine tracker issued by the Ministry of Health as of October 9th. There have been 238,512 doses administered and 127,798 people have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine, excluding Johnson & Johnson. Now, based on the doses by island in New Providence, a total of 81,990 persons have been fully vaccinated, 15,021 on Grants Bahama, 3,968 on Eleuthera, 3,203 on Apico, 2,203 in Exuma, some 1,344 on Andros, 679 in Bimini, 963 on Long Island and Rumkey, 323 in the Berry Islands, 307 in Cat Island, 258 in Inagua, 308 on San Salvador, 85 in Acklands, 28 in Crooked Island, and 34 in Maguana. According to the latest data, some 4,439 persons registered abroad. Now, this total included Bahamians and residents who were fully vaccinated abroad and registered on the vax.gov.bs platform. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
Come on down now. For your large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear hard hats, steel-toe boots, and climbing belts. They don't prowl the streets at night looking for the bad boys. They're the good guys, saving us during our darkest hours, putting their lives on the line every day to make ours brighter. They're the ones you call because you know they'll be there every time. It's not easy being a hero. Sometimes they're painted as the villain. But if there's one thing all heroes have in common, is that they don't give up. They're always fair, focused on helping those in need. Because for those heroes, it's more than a job, it's a duty. Some people try to be heroes, others just are. At Grand Bahama Power Company, we are proud to know a few heroes, always there for you.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Hammers and wrenches and drills, oh my. Do It Center carries a large variety of housewares, power tools, plumbing and electrical, hardware and paint. Open Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at the Gold Rock Complex. Everything to complete that job this season.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Tonight, the Blood Donors Society of Grants Bahama is still in need of consistent donors. Laboratory manager Claudia Clinton says she is encouraging residents to consider being a part of a registry that is critical in saving as many lives as possible.
I just want to encourage people to really think about donating and becoming a regular blood donor. Encourage your children to donate. We take children as young as 16 with parental consent, but 18 and over. So parents, talk to your children. Children, talk to your parents about it, about donating. Encourage each other to come out. I'm encouraging my children. My son is going to be 18 shortly, and he knows that's going to be part of driver's license, registering to vote, and going to donate blood because it's a civic duty. And if you can help, we want to encourage you to please help.
In other news, the Beacon School is the latest school on the island to officially be recognized as a green or eco school. The school now joins 8 other schools on Grand Bahama that can boast of the accomplishment.
Beacon School is officially recognized as a green school, thanks to their efforts in creating and establishing eco-friendly practices on campus. Principal T.T. McKinsey Moss says they submitted their action plan and was approved by the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee. Moss shares some of the initiatives already in place.
In this program, we have 2 teachers, a teacher's aides, and 12 kids who are part of the program. There are a few things in the Eco Schools program that we already implemented last year. We have Water Wednesdays, where our kids on Wednesdays, they drink only water. And then on Fridays, they do the Fresh Food Fridays. And that go around the healthy living. But there are many different areas in the eco-school system, the biodiversity, we have the litter, we have to keeping the grounds clean, and also our gardens. So there are 4 main areas we're going to focus on this school year.
And now, the next step for the school is to implement those 4 initiatives once the students return to face-to-face learning.
The first one is the biodiversity. We plan to label all of the trees in the school so the kids will actually know what the trees are, and we can actually know ourselves because, we have so many trees around here. Then we also are doing backyard farming, well, a bit of backyard farming, where every class has a garden, and each teacher grows a different vegetable or herb in the garden along with our sheltered workshop. And these items actually we use in our sheltered workshop when we open on Wednesdays and Thursdays for the public, when we do salads and we do wraps. Then we're also doing reusable and recyclable items. So the kids are collecting those items, then we're going to reuse them to make different things that we can use on the campus and in our shelter workshop. And then, of course, our litter, ensuring that our campus is clean. We have litter monitors, and the kids will make sure that the campus is always clean.
Teacher and coordinator Hazel Adams shares why the school decided to be a part of the Eco Schools program.
That is to develop that awareness. We all have a responsibility to take care of our environment and our and the world, on the planet, and so it's two of the main reasons why we included the students in the program. We thought it was important that they be a part of it, and we know education also promotes action. It stirs up, it stimulates action, and so once the children are aware of the importance of taking care of their environment, we know that could be transferred into be part of their lives. It's also part of when they return to their communities, they will see it as a responsibility.
Island coordinator for the Eco Schools program and co-chair of the Keep Grand Bahama Clean Committee, Olivia Gardner, welcoming the school to the International Eco Schools program.
The Beacon School is now not just a part of a community where they are forming their own little village, but they are now a part of a worldwide organization. The Eco Schools program has over thousands of schools worldwide with over millions of students that participate in this program. The program is set to allow the students to take charge. So as much as we like to have our administrators set the course, the students will be the ones that really spearhead this program. And the Beacon School has set the pace where they have made it very easy to become an eco school. They have had programs set up where they've always had their backyard gardens long before the eco school came about.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
It's an experience of a lifetime and one that took him to perhaps one of the most impoverished areas of the region. It was a goodwill mission and outreach to help the poor. And for this Grand Bahama man, he says he wouldn't think twice about doing it again. World Central Kitchen is a not-for-profit, non-governmental organization devoted to providing meals in the wake of natural disasters. Warehouse manager at World Central Kitchen, Sheldon Horton, has been working with the organization since they made a stop on Grants Bahama following the devastation on the island by Hurricane Dorian. Most recently, Horton had the opportunity to travel to Haiti with the organization to serve residents there after experiencing a catastrophic earthquake.
After the earthquake, a lot of people was displaced down in Haiti, and they needed someone to help them out with food and water and other things. So they got the call, and then they gave me a call and asked me if I was interested in coming down to Haiti to work the warehouse for them and take care of the stuff down there. So I told them no problem, I'll be there. My job mostly was to keep track of all the food items and all that, to make sure that we don't run out of no food and all that we have enough supply to take care of meals for each day.
He shares his experience on the ground after spending 3 weeks in Haiti.
I stayed in Port-au-Prince for about a day, and then I went over to Jeremy for about 2 to 3 weeks. I was in Jeremy for a while, and I remained there until it was time to leave. Down in Haiti, it was very nice, and it was good that I can go there to help out, to distribute food and all of that. We served over 685,000 meals throughout Haiti. They treat us very well. I had no problem with them. They look out for us when you ask them questions, certain things. They will assist you the best of their ability. And we had about 10 to 12 locals from Haiti working along with us. And it was a joy working along with them.
For Horton, it was a life-changing experience, one that he says he would do all over again if called upon to do so, adding that he is grateful that they were able to assist the Haitian community during their time of need.
Some were depressed and down, because some of them didn't know where they were going to get the next meal from, and water to drink and all that, even bathing-wise. It was hard for some of them to get water to bathe and stuff, because, when you're driving by some part, you see them bathing on the side of the streets, and the women, the kids and all that. It was just horrible to see that, to see the condition that they were living in. And my heart went out to them because it was sad to see that, the condition that they're in. Then when I saw the condition that they were under, it brought me right back to when we got hit by Dorian, and to see the condition that some of us was living under and what we were going through at the time.
Horton is encouraging persons to continue to lift prayers for the people of Haiti. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News. Rumiko Knowles joins us next with your Tuesday evening sports.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. Good evening all, I'm Rumiko Knowles. Topping sports, corporate Bahamas stepping up in a major way to endorse a Bahamian athlete. Stephen Gardner is the newest brand ambassador for the Bahamas Telecommunications Company. BTC executives presenting the Olympic champion with a check for $100,000 in the nation's capital. President of the Bahamas Olympic Committee, Romel Knowles, commending BTC for supporting Bahamian athletes.
BTC in the past have been the leading corporate sponsor for sports promotion and marketing in the Bahamas, having been involved in any number of events under the auspices of the Bahamas Olympic Committee, and the athletes from all various disciplines, from swimming to athletics to junk canoe to culture. BDC has been that source of strength financially and a source of encouragement.
He encourages other corporate citizens with shared values to become a part of the sporting fraternity by helping to defray the costs that federations endure.
I can tell you that being involved in sports is a great return on investment, particularly given some of the social issues that we have. Sports can be that antidote to turn a child from his left ways to his right ways. Sports is also the antidote for this difficult period that we as the Bahamian people have been experiencing as a result of COVID.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bolag, says a key stakeholder in the ministry are the Bahamian athletes, and he plans to look at the government's subvention program.
When you think about Stevie Gardner and Shawnee Miller going and winning these gold medals, the Bahamas cannot pay for the PR we got with them winning the gold medal. So in order to assist them, we need to ensure that they're financially stable to pay for their trainings in order for them to maintain that level so we can get that exposure that they're giving us now. And I mean, of being a former athlete and being a former coach, president of the federation, I understand the pains that these coaches, athletes, and federations feel. So once we improve the relationships with them all, I think then we'll have a better, smooth flow of how we operate sports in this country. Now, you can never please everyone, but the intent is to please the greater majority.
And finally, in sports, week 5 of the NFL is in the history books. In Monday night's showdown, it was Michael Strawn and his Indianapolis Colts against the Ravens. Here's how that went down. Michael Strawn and his Indianapolis Colts went from looking to turn their season around to having it spiral downward, blowing a 19-point lead in their 31-25 overtime loss to the Ravens last night. The Colts led 22-3 with a little more than 3 minutes remaining when things went from promising to disastrous as Lamar Jackson threw 4 second-half touchdown passes to bring the Ravens back, including the game-winning score at 5:24 in overtime. Strawn and the Colts are now 1-4 on the season and will host Houston Texans in Week 6. And that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Seize the opportunity to be featured in Esquire's 2022 calendar. Send a photo of you outfitted in your Esquire attire by October 15th or WhatsApp them at 727-6367.
Transparency, honesty,
and accountability are what you deserve.
You deserve a smarter grid.
With meters that show you where your energy is going.
A modernized grid that share all the data and allow us to proactively address the issues. A resilient grid that notifies us the instant your service is disrupted. You deserve the highest standard of service.
With a smarter grid and modern infrastructure.
This is why advanced metering infrastructure
is here.
Welcome to the My Professor and More, where our focus is to provide the innovation and provide the guidelines for our talented students in a variety of subject matters, from primary school all the way to university level.
Because of the Math Professor, my mathematical and public speaking skills have truly elevated.
At the My Professor and More, we see our students as being family members. Even though we strive in mathematics and public speaking, we cover all of those areas whereby students may be finding challenges. At the Math Professor, we strive for excellence. We strive for innovation. And through the techniques that we use, we continue to make a difference in the lives of hundreds of students each year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We welcome you to be a part of the family.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with ZNS to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Hey, Pokrala Gao, you are our Facebook friend today. Thank you so much for your loyal support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues. Coming up in the national report, modifications may be coming to the 2021-2022 budget. The health minister taking stock of the amount of vaccines in the country. And the Rehabilitation of Offenders Committee taking on a new task. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report continues in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas Tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence. We cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Jamila Mizik. Government may have to make modifications to the 2021-2022 budget produced by the former Minister administration, according to the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis. Despite calling the country's financial state dismal at this point, he says government does not intend to put off any of its commitments, but work with what currently exists to get the job done. He says that VAT reduction will also be at the top of the government's legislative agenda.
We are now looking at the recasting the budget, because what we are finding is that the budget was not truly a reflection of what the state of affairs were, but rather just a wish list to get over an election. So we hope to revisit the budget, and perhaps that might be the second most important thing we do is to recast the budget for the next 9 months to meet and to enable us to carry out our functions.
Meanwhile, health teams are on the ground in one Family Island community following a spike in COVID-19 cases there. The Minister of Health shares the latest on the situation there and sheds light on when the dwindling vaccine supply will be replenished. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
A team of doctors and nurses were deployed to Inagua on Monday to deal with a spike in COVID-19 cases that Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, says could be linked to campaigning, as well as several different scenarios. Dr. Darville says officials believe the surge stems from an imported case from an island resident, but they believe the cluster is now under control.
A team was sent in yesterday, which is 3 doctors and a nurse, and an assessment is being done again. And my assessment this morning has indicated that it appears to still be a cluster of infection, but further work needs to be done to get the exact situation that's on the island in hand.
Due to limited vaccine supply, the Ministry of Health announced Monday that as of Thursday, it will no longer administer first doses of the Pfizer vaccine, and beginning October 23rd, second doses of AstraZeneca will no longer be offered, but Pfizer will be available as a second dose.
There was a little bit of challenge as a result of the COVAX facility, where there's some 54,000 or maybe 57,000 doses that was supposed to be on the country now. There is some delay, and I was told up to yesterday that we're looking at the first week in November.
The Bahamas also awaits the second of 3 shipments of Pfizer gifted to the country by the U.S., but there is no timeline on when that will arrive. The Minister of Health, however, does not believe the country will run out of supplies before they are replenished.
We're looking at about 2 weeks. We believe we have enough supplies. But you know, in the vaccine world, people like choices. And so there may be some people who want Pfizer, and if they cannot get the first dose of Pfizer, decide to wait until the supplies are.
The Bahamas saw a peak in COVID-19 hospitalizations in September, with 190 people admitted. The country has now surpassed 21,000 COVID-19 infections and more than 600 COVID-19 deaths. While hospitalizations are down with 141 patients hospitalized in Sunday's health dashboard, former Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands has called for more drastic restrictions due to continued manpower challenges at hospitals. Darville says it is being considered, but may not be necessary yet.
In the event that we feel that we need to execute more measures, we will. But one of the things that is important is to improve surveillance. We do have a problem at the tertiary healthcare level because we feel that individuals who are positive may be coming to the institution a little bit too late, and we need to try to initiate therapies before they begin to decompensate and start to have severe respiratory symptoms.
Darville says he and the Minister of National Security have devised a strategy designed to improve surveillance amidst the pandemic because COVID-19 cases need to be under control for an economic recovery. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Government will extend the Menace administration vaccination policy requiring all cruise passengers to be vaccinated against COVID-19 to come to the Bahamas. The policy took effect on September 3rd and was set to expire on November 1st. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Aviation and Investment, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says the policy will be extended into 2022.
We're actively in conversations with our various cruise partners. As you know, we welcomed Virgin Cruises last week, a new ship to our shores. But we believe vaccination is the right approach in order to be able to attract tourists to our shores in a balanced, responsible way. So we note that mostly in the U.S. market, we see vaccinations in the high 60, low 70%. And we know that all of our cruise passengers who come naturally because of this rule are vaccinated. That's good for the Bahamas. It's good for the tourism industry. And certainly as we extend this rule, we believe that this will help us even further to grow our tourism business in a balanced way.
The Pan American Health Organization said to be doing all it can to accelerate vaccinations in the Americas. PAHO's director, Dr. Carissa Etienne, disclosing recently that they've already closed agreements with 3 emergency use listing authorized producers, Sinovac, Sinopharm, and AstraZeneca.
We are now in conversation with our member states that want to use this alternative for direct purchasing through the revolving fund. We now have vaccines from Sinovac and AstraZeneca available this year, and also from the 3 producers to 2022. Whether it's getting vaccines to our region or tracking the spread of variants, controlling this pandemic rests on the work and support of partners across our region and indeed the world. And just as we work together to control this pandemic, we must consider the ways in which we can collaborate to avoid future pandemics.
Dr. Etienne then is calling for crucial pandemic plans and policies to reflect the expertise and recommendations of public health, animal health, and environmental sectors, which she sees as especially critical to Caribbean regions with tropical zones lending to a higher potential to harbor new diseases.
We need countries to ensure that animal, agricultural, and environmental partners are brought to the table to build more robust surveillance systems that can detect risk faster, prioritize investments in research and development for high-risk pathogens, and establish strong pandemic responses that build on the strengths of these diverse areas of expertise. Because the cost of preventing a pandemic is much less than the cost of responding to one. COVID-19 alone has caused a loss of some $4 trillion in global GDP, and we're not yet out of the woods.
This is the National Report coming to you live from Freeport Grants, Bahama. We'll be back in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Since eating at KFC, Trevor became the value hunter. Get a KFC fill-up with one-piece tender, juicy chicken, a hot buttery biscuit, golden brown fries, and a soda for only $5, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. WhatsApp HI to 557-3663 to start your order for pickup at your nearest KFC.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our Superfast Fiber Internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
Hello, my name is Joan Evans. I am the Chief Financial Officer for Abundant Life Bible Church. One of my responsibilities is to ensure that the men and women who work in service to the ministry receive their monthly wages and that their NIB contributions are paid on time each month so that their NIB benefits are available when they need it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when everything was shut down, the NIB Employer Self-Service Portal enabled me to make payments from anywhere. I didn't need to be in office or visit NIB, which I find physically challenging anyway. We got notice when NIB's ESS portal started, but we never registered to use it until March 2020, when COVID-19 protocols forced our hand. It was convenient and our payments were instantly credited to our NIB account. I still use it, even though I'm back in the sanctuary office. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
Self-isolation means taking simple steps to avoid close contact with other people as much as possible, as you would with the seasonal flu. If you've been in close contact with somebody confirmed with COVID-19 or suspect that you have it, self-isolate for 14 days. You can self-isolate by staying indoors and away from family for 14 days. Choose a well-ventilated room with a closed door. Household members should stay in a different room, or if that is not possible, maintain a distance of at least 3 feet. Use a sealed waste basket and double bag your waste before disposal. Limit movement in your house. Stay in your assigned space away from the rest of the household. The caretaker will bring food and anything else you need. Use separate cookery and cutlery. Use a separate bathroom and clean it regularly. Use separate towels, separate cleaning linens, and clothing. If you are in need of care by household members, limit the number of caregivers. Assign one person who is in good health and has minimum risk conditions. Most importantly, remember, do not invite others over. Should you or anyone you know feel that you've been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the COVID-19 hotline at the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 376-9350, 376-9387, 300-2619, or our 24-hour hotline at 502-7382. For more information, visit covid19.gov.bs.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ministry of Health and this television station.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Welcome back. 47-year-old Bahamian drug smuggler and boat captain Lothario Rose has been sentenced to 39 months behind bars in a U.S. prison after being convicted of smuggling marijuana on the high seas. This after Rose tried to ram the U.S. Coast Guard vessel and his 3 crew members, all Jamaicans, threw bales of marijuana overboard back in July of last year. However, authorities disabled Rose's go-fast boat with gunfire and after boarding the vessel, seizing some 3,904 pounds of marijuana. The drug bust happened 45 nautical miles west of the South Claw of Haiti. Rose, who is also known as Sion Buju Minis, has multiple convictions here in the Bahamas for drug trafficking. In other news, 2 New Providence men arraigned in a magistrate's court today for their alleged role in 2 separate murder incidents. That's DeAndre Bethel, charged in court 11 with the September 29th murder of Renato Brennan. It's a charge for which he was not required to enter a plea due to the nature of the offenses. Bail was denied for the defendant. He remains on remand at the Bahamas Department of Corrections pending the December 13th service of voluntary bill of indictment. Meanwhile, in court, 9 Keno Janvier was charged with the September 19th murder of Walter Johnson. Janvier, who was also not required to enter a plea, was too denied bail. He next appears in court on December 16th for service of a VBI. Meantime, 4 men and a woman appearing before a magistrate in the Nassau Street Court complex early Tuesday. Their alleged crime: involvement in the LPIA stick-up that left an officer seriously injured. 29-year-old Marvin Tilmy and 55-year-old Garnet Newbold were formally charged with 1 count of armed robbery and 2 counts of attempted murder. Prosecutors allege that Tilmy and Newbold are the men responsible for attempting to murder Karen Bain and Police Corporal 1964 Smith with a handgun. The weapon was allegedly used to rob Bain of his Coach glasses and a cell phone and $2,000+, the property of Bahamas Air. For this, the men are further charged with 2 counts of possession of a firearm with the intent to cause harm. And that's not all. Tilmy, along with co-conspirators 60-year-old Brian Goodrich, 55-year-old Jeffrey Lunn, and 33-year-old Ella Adderley stand accused of conspiracy to commit armed robbery. The trio of co-conspirators further faced 3 counts of abetment. The 4 men and women were denied bail and not required to enter a plea. The case has been fast-tracked to the Supreme Court pending a December 15th service of voluntary bill of indictment. In other news, several pundits and the country at large have weighed in and expressed their thoughts on the man who took a sledgehammer to the statue of Christopher Columbus at Government House over the weekend, just before the Heroes Day holiday, which has been dedicated to honoring national heroes since 2013. One of them, history professor at the University of the Bahamas, Dr. Christopher Curry.
While I do not support or endorse destruction of property, I see that as unlawful. And I will tell you that I was part of a group over a year ago that was supporting legislation to be enacted to allow for the removal of the statue and for it to be placed in a national museum where it could be curated by a Bahamian curator to tell the story of Columbus in the right context.
Curry adding that serious consideration should be made to honor more fitting heroes.
As we move towards our 50th anniversary of independence, literally in 2 years, we still do not have a National Heroes Park with a mnemonic reminder of the great heroes that we have in our country, from Pompey and Matilda through Stephen Dillett and even William Parliament Adderley, into the 20th century in the pantheon of freedom fighters that we have. We do not have significant monuments to these people.
Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
How's your day going?
In a word, busy. 6 a.m. gym, 7 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. drop the kids to school, 9 to 3 back-to-back meetings with working lunch, of course, 4 p.m. pick up the kids, 4:15 dog groomer. Oh, but that reminds me, oh dear.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I double booked my 6 p.m. Charity committee versus helping out at the kids' ballet. Oh, it's a tough one. I promised the kids.
Which one are you going to reschedule?
Neither. Divide and conquer. My husband can handle his own on the dance floor.
It's a good thing your money's been just as busy.
RF, keeping your money busy with investment products and services that match your needs.
We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate.
Well, I guess you can say that BTC has done it again. We've entered into a partnership with Bahamian Olympic gold medalist Stephen Speedy Gardner in a partnership that will be one for the record books.
We are happy to announce that Speedy Stevie is bleeding blue with us at BTC. And I got to tell you, Corbell, you know, of all the athletes that we sponsor, I think there's something very special about Steve Gardner. And I think not only his story of his humble beginnings, but you know, despite all the stardom, he's still a very humble guy that just wants to give back and do well. So look, I think we have struck gold. He earned gold. We struck gold. I think the fact that that we chose an athlete that was not only the first to do so much at this Olympics, right, but came out of so much adversity, right? I mean, look, the pandemic even impacted the Olympics. So, you know, the story there is so amazing. You know, he was the first, you know, gold medal for the Bahamas, right? All these firsts for me. He said, when I spoke to Carol, I said, look, there's something really special about him, and I think our stories are somehow intertwined, and they are.
It's amazing. Today is just the beginning of a lot of greatness that we have planned and a lot of great ideas and promoting the new BTC brand. It means a lot for me. I remember growing up, there was only BTC at the time, and BTC would do back to school giveaways. They would fund John Canoe, Curfta Games, Olympics, and just to give back, and I'm just happy to be on board.
Whether it's on the tracks or in the community, Stephen Gardner is proving that he has the winning formula all around. These are the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pyfrom. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
When you want to save money, on your tile supplies. Who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Let's get it right, Bahamas. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay 6 feet apart. Remember to always practice physical distancing.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture and this television station.
Cubans lucky to be alive. According to U.S. News, the U.S. Coast Guard in Key West, Florida, recently rescued the migrants after being stranded on Anguilla Key. On board the U.S. cutter, the group was given food, water, shelter, and basic medical attention. There were no reports of injuries. They've all since been handed over to Bahamian authorities. No word yet on when they'll be deported. In other news, the United States diplomatic mission of the Bahamas celebrated the completion of the physical structure of new embassy building on the corner of East and Shirley Streets with an outdoor ceremony on October 8th. The ceremony marking the halfway point of the overall project and also means the building will go no higher and the basic shape is complete. The entire project is expected to be completed by the summer of 2023. During the ceremony, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis indicated that new embassy symbolizes the strong bilateral relationship between the Bahamas and the U.S. and the understanding that the closeness between our two countries is well worth a continuing investment. And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us, there's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from, The future is what we aspire to, but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are, where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were, and now you get to see who we are. We are alive.
Car insurance, home insurance, marine insurance, this insurance, that insurance. The truth is, you may not like it very much, but you need insurance, and it has to work for you. That's why Summit insurance policies are designed with you and your life in mind, fitting your lifestyle and needs perfectly. So you can rest comfortably knowing that your car, home, boat, and business are well taken care of. Contact our agents at Insurance Management today. Summit Insurance. We peak above all others.
Last week, health officials toured of healthcare facilities in the southern Bahamas, with the assessments garnering some useful information on the upgrades needed to protect patients and medical staff in the midst of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Fern Carey reports.
The tour of healthcare facilities on Crooked Island revealing new infrastructural upgrades that were carried out to clinics on that southern island post-Hurricane Dorian. The upgrades, considered timely, says Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Michael Dowell, as the country remains in the grip of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the national death toll from the highly contagious virus now surpassing the 600 mark.
We were pleasantly surprised when we arrived on Crooked Island. It's quite obviously that the infrastructure has been renovated, and we're so pleased that the 3 clinics on Crooked Island are in relatively good condition.
Now that the clinics on Crooked Island are in good condition, health and safety protocols are expected to follow in order to avoid community spread of the highly contagious COVID-19 virus.
All of the clinics have a difficulty with isolation of a possible COVID case, and so the healthcare professionals on the island making the assessment so that we can now forward it to our quantity surveyor and begin to look at the scope of work necessary to fix that.
Over in Abrahams Bay, Mayaguana, however, health officials discovered that the clinics there are urgently in need of renovations, the move necessary in order to ensure that patients are protected and medical staff are not at risk.
The assessments in Mayaguana has clearly indicated that the clinics there need more work than what we have right here in Crooked Island. And so that particular scope of work will be done, and we will definitely be able to make some structural adjustments and some renovations to those clinics in order for us to do a better job in handling the amount of COVID cases that possibly could hit the island.
Minister Dowell says efforts are now underway to carry out renovations and upgrades where necessary. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Officials from the Bahama Out Islands Promotion Board taking a closer look at the family islands and their accessibility and affordability. This as they are forecasting strong recovery for the hotel industry despite the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. We talked to the board's executive director, Carrie Fountain.
If I want to go to Auckland, or if I want to go to Cat Island, Auckland's Crooked Island, islands like that, if I want to go there, it means sometimes I have to overnight in Nassau and then go there the next day. Or if I'm on Auckland and I want to return home, I have to fly into Nassau and then overnight in order to go back home the next day. So we need to address that. We need to address the accessibility problem or challenge and make these islands, particularly so the islands in the south, we need to make them more accessible.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean.
Outside of our studios at this hour, we are under mostly cloudy skies with a temperature of 81 degrees, a relative humidity at 73%. We have east-northeast winds at 9 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,013.6 millibars, that's 29.92 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Tour, Key, and Marshall, Babaco, the Berry Islands at 81, 82 degrees in Allenstown, Bimini, 80 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island at 83 degrees, Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Space, South Andros, and Freshwick and Central Andros at 81 degrees. 83s in San Salvador, Rum Key and Georgetown, Exuma in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. They have a temperature of 82 degrees. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 83, Acklands, 83, Matthewtown, Nagman, the Turks and Caicos Island also reported 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter in the northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Northeast to east winds, speeds around 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Tide-wise is going to be low at 8:05 this evening for the southeast Bahamas through Wednesday. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we take you into Thursday for all areas of the Bahamas, we're going to have a northeasterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide on Thursday at 9:18 in the morning, high tide at 3:45 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. For your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays. That's super value and quality supermarkets. Devon corned beef, 12 ounce, $2.49. Par Excellence long grain rice, 5 pound, $3.49. Del Monte cut green beans, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Boneless chicken breast, $2.89 per pound. Fresh tomatoes, $1.79 per pound. Take these groceries home in super value tote bags, 2 for $3.
It is normal to feel overwhelmed, lonely, scared, or sad during a crisis. Coping can be difficult when your daily schedule is interrupted. Drinking may feel good, but is not the best way to cope with stress. It can worsen your mental and physical health and impact your family. So how can you cope? Keep physically active, like taking a walk or dancing. Cook and eat nutritious food, including fruits and vegetables. Engage in indoor activities like playing games and staying connected with family and friends. Meditate, encourage yourself, or enjoy music. Still feeling overwhelmed? We are here to listen. This message is brought to you by these partners.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. NBA preseason action winding down over the weekend. DeAndre Ayton had 11 points and 9 rebounds in the Phoenix Suns' 123-94 win over the Lakers. They will close out their preseason tomorrow against Portland. Meantime, Buddy Hield sat out in the Kings' 107-93 win over Portland. The Kings will close out preseason play on Thursday against the Lakers. Meanwhile, Kai Jones netting 4 points and nabbing 1 rebound in the Charlotte's 104-103 loss to Miami. They will close out the preseason tomorrow against Dallas. In tennis action, Sydney Clark and the Alabama Birmingham Blazers women's tennis team playing at the Samford Round Robin over the weekend. Joining UAB and Samford were Troy Memphis and Western Kentucky University. Clark picked up a pair of wins in singles. The Blazers now get ready for the ITA Southern Regional, which starts on Thursday in Tuscaloosa. Now, it was a good weekend for Saquon Miller and the Salem Tigers men's water polo team. They went 3-1, picking up wins over Mercyhurst, Augustana, and Gannon while losing to McKendree. Miller and the Tigers are now 7-9 on the season. Burkett Dorsett will head to Panama later this week in his role as a director of the World Baseball Softball Confederation of the Americas. He will represent the English-speaking Caribbean at the Board of Directors meeting. The board will discuss the way forward for the next 4 years in terms of tournaments, rule changes, and competing in a COVID environment, among other things. At the conclusion of this meeting, Dorsett will be joined by the president of the BSF, Ted Miller, for the 16th Congress of the Americas, where heads of all member countries in the region come together. Dorsett and Miller will return home on Sunday. Finally, in sports, in honor of National Heroes Day yesterday, Ozzy the Sports Insider has his own list of sports heroes from Grand Bahama who he plans on honoring next February for their devotion to youth, sports, and community service. The honorees will include Dudley Sade, Darren Roll, Gladstone Moan McPhee, Jimmy Culmer, Bonnie Baston, Charles Softly Rubin, Gary McIntosh, MacArthur Rigby, Stephen Idley, Donnie and Mary Knowles, along with Ulrich Lightborn. And that is your check on sports.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Playing in the water can be loads of fun, but it can also be quite dangerous if all caution is thrown to the wind. Being alert and keeping an eye on young children and adolescents should always be priority. Here's how you can do it. Unfortunately, a lifeguard won't be at every beach and pool, so picking out someone to be the designated pool or beach watcher, especially when kids are around, is extremely important to lower risk of accidents in and around the water.
Whether it be in the sea or in the pool, you're going to make sure that everybody knows who the designated watcher is. And when you change over, if you're having an event that's lasting more than an hour or two, at least you can rotate out every 15 minutes and have 3 or 4 watchers set up. For an adult, any children at the age of 7, if they can swim, should still never be more than arm's reach apart. And when you have kids going through the Learn to Swim programs, we want to stay safe within them.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
The medical technologists, with the help of lab aides and phlebotomists, test all bodily fluids to provide results. Without this group of professionals, the physicians, surgeons, and nurses will be handicapped in the management of their patients. Our test results clearly indicates if you suffer from any kind of disease or illness, be it cancer, diabetes, AIDS, or even the flu. It is important to note that even while you are asleep, we're testing. While you're in isolation, we're testing. While you are in lockdown, we are testing. BAMAT wishes you to remember that medical technologists, phlebotomists, medical technicians, cytologists, cytotechnicians, histologists, histotechnicians, microbiologists, pathologists, and lab aides all work as a team to get results for you. So please stay home for us. This announcement is brought to you by the Bahamas Association of Medical Technologists in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the Bahamas and in Bahamian women. At present, we are unable to prevent breast cancer, but performing screening mammograms can detect breast cancer at its earliest when there are no symptoms and when it is more likely to be treated successfully. All women should have a primary health care provider who is aware of their medical history, family history, and risk factors. Women 40 to 45 years can choose whether to start screening in consultation with their physician. All women 45 to 54 years should have an annual mammogram. Women older than 55 years can have a yearly mammogram or choose to have one every 2 years. Monthly breast self-exams in conjunction with the mammogram can increase the odds of early detection. Be proactive about your health.
Diabetic eye disease is caused by changes in the blood vessels of your retina. This disease is the most common cause of vision loss among patients with diabetes and is the leading cause of blindness and visual impairment in working-age adults. Symptoms of diabetic eye disease can include floaters in your vision, blurred vision, fluctuating vision, impaired color vision, or generalized loss of vision. Smoking can quadruple your risk of progression of this disease. Bottom line is, smoking will cause you to go blind faster with diabetes. So quit smoking. Also, for expectant mothers who are diabetic, it is very important that you have your eyes examined during pregnancy, as rapid changes can occur in your eyes during pregnancy. And remember, good eye health is a combined effort between your eye care team, your medical doctors, and you, the patient.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys' waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been queuing for some grouper tread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
And now for your final look at the weather, here is Basil Dean.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, an area of low pressure just to the east of the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands has a very low chance of developing because of unfavorable upper level conditions. Nevertheless, it will drift towards the north through tomorrow, producing pockets of showers and thunderstorms over parts of the southeast Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands tonight through tomorrow. Thereafter, we expect it to shift towards the east and pick up in forward speeds, and that should take it away from us by the end of this week. And elsewhere in the area, we're looking at our satellite picture now. You can see that upper level low continue to spin over the northwest Bahamas. That will remain in place over the next couple of days, oscillating west and east, and that will continue to produce pockets of showers and thunderstorms over the northwest and central Bahamas, in particularly the central Bahamas tonight, mainly around Cat Island, the Lutra, the Exumas. All of those will be in the mix tonight for rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Forecast for tonight, partly cloudy with widely separated thunderstorms, again, particularly over those islands that we have already mentioned. Low temperature tonight getting down to 76 degrees. And tomorrow, variable cloudiness again with showers developing in the afternoon here, and that should continue into the nighttime hours as well, with a high temperature of 85 degrees. Extended weather forecast, as we already told you, showers developing into the afternoon will carry over into the nighttime. Things get a little better on Thursday, more showers on Friday. The weekend looking pretty nice with lots of sunshine in the forecast.
That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jamila Mizik. Thanks for watching and good night.
Mm-hmm.
oh, oh, oh.